Don't push down the thought of your ex. Don't push them down. Don't push them away. It's to cut off all ties with your ex. Cut it off completely. Hi, lovely viewers. Welcome to Caravan of Love right here at City Star TV. My name is Nanaya and I'm your host for the show. Before we move on to today's discussion, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. The subscribe button is right there. Just click on it and thank you so much for subscribing. On to today's discussion. Today we'll be talking about great questions to ask on the first date. So you've asked this lady out and she has said yes, or a gentleman asked you out and you said yes, and you're about to go on to this first date, I'm going to give you some questions. Now, these are not questions I'm saying restrict yourself to, but these are questions that can help you gain an insight into who the person is, so you can know if you're going to have a second date, a third, and so on and so forth. If you're going to move forward, or you're going to say, okay, this is enough at the first date. So these are the 7 great questions to ask on a first date. So question number 1 will be, what makes you happy? What makes you happy? So when you've gotten to the restaurant, you're seated, you're talking, you're having a conversation, and then you ask your partner what, or the person you're on a date with, what makes you happy. Now this makes the person think or have a feel that you're actually interested in what pleases them, and that you want to know, maybe to do it for them, to fulfill it for them, or to be acquainted with the things that actually causes them pleasure, in a different way. So when the person gives you the response, you also get to know the things that they derive their joy from, the things that actually makes them happy, and the kind of, it actually let you know the kind of person he or she is. If the person is, the things that make them happy are serial killer documentaries, or they derive joy from seeing people hurt or in pain, then you know that, this person is a little bit of a sadist. And then you know what you're walking into. Or maybe going to the zoo, visiting orphanages, doing things for the needy, the helpless, the homeless in the society. It makes them happy, giving and all that. Then you're going to be with a very generous person. So this kind of question will let you know, it will actually give you an idea of who the person is, get into their head a little bit. Now the next question or advice that you ask is their most embarrassing moment. Now, you ask your dates, what's the most embarrassing thing they've ever done or they've ever experienced? And they tell you. Sometimes people share their embarrassing stories and you listen and you be like, but this is not really embarrassing. It may not be for you, but it is for that other person. So that also let you know the things that they find shameful, the things that they feel ashamed to be, to be attached to, or to be linked to, or things that happen that they think is worth being ashamed of or being embarrassed about. So the things to avoid doing in their presence, or the things to not talk about, or things to not bring up, because they consider those acts or those sort of things shameful or embarrassing. So that is point number 2. Now you can also ask them this question, that is question number 3, who the most important people in their life are. Okay, so this may seem like it's too much too soon on the first day, but it actually isn't. Why am I saying this? If they consider friends and family, the most important people in their life, depending on the answer they give you, it gives you a fair idea of who the person is. Is it the kind of person that as things progress, they are going to, what kind of importance are they going to attach to you? Whether you're going to be friends, or you're going to be lovers, or you're going to move on into whatever designation you guys end up at. Who do they consider important? Are they all about their bosses? Are the people paying their paychecks or writing their paychecks the most important people in their lives? Or is it their parents who brought them to this world? Is it their friends that helped build them up? Who do they consider the important people in their life? Then you know that wherever you think you were headed to, whoever you want to be in their life, will you be part of that people? Are you going to be important to him, or you're just going to be sidelined for one of those important people when they come up? So that is another question you can ask. That's question number 3, who the important people in their lives are. Now, question number four will be, if they were to be able to change anything in this world, what would they change about the world? And depending on where you are, or the hope, the perception of the person's response to this question, give you the perception of the world. The things that they would target at, what are they going to target at? If they could change something, what would they change? Would they change poverty in the less privileged countries? Would they change the way people, politics is done around the world? Would they change the war? Would they let go of democracy? Would they think that the world would be better off if we just had one leader who was autocratic? How do they perceive the world? What change do they think they can, if they had the chance to, they would do to the world to make it a better place? This will help you know how the person perceives the world, the things they want to do, the things that they think it matters, so you can know if you guys think alike or not. I mean, if the person wants to change, uh, thinks that the world should be one big country where we have one autocratic leader, and you're somebody who actually believes in democracy and people's, freedom and rights and all that, then you know that you guys are going to have bumpy roads, agreeing on a lot of things along the way. So this is one of the important questions, or one great question you can ask. You can also ask the person, that was question number four. I'm going to question number five now. That if they had three wishes from a genie, hey, they got lucky and they found a different version of Aladdin's lamp, and they rub it and you get a genie, and you have three wishes, what would their three wishes be? Now, when they give you this response, these are the desires that they think is out of their reach, or it can't be achieved or attained, which is why they need a little bit of magic to have it happen. So these are basically going to be their heart desires, the things that they actually want to make happen, but they don't think it's probable, or they feel it's a little out of their reach or a little impossible for them, that they need a little bit of magic to make it happen. So you pay attention, because these are things that are really important to them. These are things that are really important to them. If I had a wish and I could bring back somebody that I've lost, or I could make somebody feel better, then you know how much value I place on that person. So as you with me, as you know all these things about me, you know the things that I value most, the things that I desire the most, that are in my heart, that I think that I may not be able to achieve without a little bit of magic. So you can ask this question, and that will give you an idea into that person. So another question that will be question number six, is ask them about their bucket list. Okay, so what really bucket list? Some people have these desires, or these goals that they want to achieve before they die, or before they reach a certain age. Maybe before I am 40, I want to go to Paris. I want to have 5 kids. I want to go to Disneyland. A whole lot. Maybe I want to even become president someday. So these are things that are on my bucket list that I am crossing off one after the other. Now, these are also hard desires, but these are things that I actually can do if I put in the efforts. They are achievable. So I'm setting myself out to achieve them. Now, with these bucket lists, this is helpful, because sometimes, depending on the things that are on the person's bucket list, for instance, if you're wondering, maybe someday the relationship has progressed to where you guys are together, and you're wondering what to do to make the person happy, or what can you do to make an impact on that person, you can help that person cross off one thing on their bucket list. Maybe on their bucket list they wish to travel to a certain country, and you can make it happen. Well, you have that information already, so all you do is put the effort into place, and you make it happen for that person, and you help that person cross one thing off their bucket list. So at least it to give you an idea on the things that the person desire, because the things on the bucket list, they just don't desire it, they're actually working on achieving them. So then and that is question number six. Question number seven is ask the person, what is the one thing that if they had the chance to do over and over and over again, they will always do? Now, this question is important, because whatever answer that person gives you, that is something that person is probably never going to stop doing. because like the question says, they are going to do it over and over and over again, which means it's going to be a part of this person. So then you ask yourself this question as well: can you tolerate it? Can you endure it? Are you okay with that? Because if you ask someone a question on the first day, what it is one thing that you would do over and over and over and over again, and the person says, I don't know, smoking or drinking or killing people, then you know, are you going to be able to live with a smoker for the if this relationship should progress, if you should go on a second date, on a third date, it should become a relationship, if it should lead anywhere, can you stay with a smoker? Can you stay with an alcoholic? Can you stay with a killer? You see, so these questions, they give you insights into who the person is. It gives you an idea into who the person is, and it helps you know whether you want to move this forward based on who the, you learn some personality, see some personality traits about the person, and it lets you know and make the decision: do you want to move forward with this, or you want to say adios on the first date? I hope these questions are helpful, and I hope they help you get more insight into the people that you're going on a date with. And I wish you all the best in your date and your next endeavors. This has been Caravan of Love right here on City Star TV. Catch you same time next time.